Everyone says they don't have enough time. But let me tell you something uncomfortable. You don't lose time. You trade it every single day. You trade it for comfort, for distraction, for habits that feel harmless in the moment. And then, months later, you look at your life and wonder why nothing has changed. The brutal truth about time management isn't about planners, calendars, or productivity hacks. It's about honesty. And most people don't want that conversation because it forces them to look in the mirror. The core lie, "I don't have time," is the most popular lie on earth. Because watch what actually happens. You somehow have time to scroll for 40 minutes without noticing, watch videos you forget the next day, stay up late doing absolutely nothing. But the moment it's time to work on your goals, your brain suddenly says, there just aren't enough hours. That's not a time problem. That's an intention problem. Time didn't disappear. It just got spent somewhere else. Why this keeps happening? Psychology has a name for this behavior: temporal discounting. Your brain is wired to overvalue rewards now and undervalue rewards later. That's why comfort feels urgent, progress feels optional, discipline feels heavy. Your brain isn't broken. It's efficient, just not designed for long-term goals. Without structure, your default setting will always choose easy now over meaningful later. That's not a weakness, that's biology. But biology doesn't have to be destiny. The comfort tax. Here's the cost nobody talks about. Every comfortable decision today quietly steals from your future self. Scrolling instead of starting. Postponing instead of committing. Avoiding the hard thing just for today. You don't feel the damage immediately. That's why it's dangerous. The bill comes later. When motivation is gone, time feels tighter and regret feels heavier. Comfort doesn't come free. It charges interest. Busy, not productive. Most people think they're busy. They're not. They're unfocused. Research on attention shows that constant task switching can reduce productivity by up to 40%. Every time you jump between emails, messages, tabs, and tasks, your brain has to restart. That restart costs energy. So while you feel busy all day, very little actually moves forward. Focused people do in 2 hours what distracted people can't do in 10. Not because they're smarter, because they're deliberate. The real shift. Time is life currency. Here's the mindset shift that changes everything. Time isn't something you have, it's something you spend. Every hour is a piece of your life you never get back. So before you say yes to anything, ask one brutal question. Is this worth my life? Is this meeting worth your evening? Is this scrolling worth an hour of existence? Is this distraction worth delaying the person you want to become? Most things don't survive that question, and that's a good thing. Control versus illusion, science. Here's another mistake people make. They try to control every minute, and it fails. Studies on time perception show that what matters most isn't perfect scheduling, it's the feeling of control over your time. Rigid schedules break the moment life gets unpredictable. What actually works is simpler: knowing your true priorities, protecting them daily, letting everything else fight for what's left. You don't need a flawless plan. You need clarity. The only system that matters. Here's the system that actually works. Not complicated, not trendy. Identify 3 things that genuinely move your life forward. Not 10, not 20. 3. Then schedule them first, like non-negotiable meetings. Everything else fits around them. And yes, that means cutting or limiting things that compete with them. Not forever, just long enough to prove something important, that your future matters more than comfort. Discipline isn't motivation. It's choosing long-term self-respect over short-term relief. So here's the brutal truth about time management. You don't need more hours. You don't need a better planner. You don't need more motivation. You need self-honesty. Because once you accept that your time reflects your priorities, you also realize something powerful. You're not stuck. You're in control. And that means starting today, you can change everything. If this made you think differently about your time, hit like. It helps this message reach people who need it. Comment below. What's one thing you're cutting this week? And subscribe if you want content that doesn't just motivate you, but actually helps you take control of your life.